What up, it's your boy Stefan with the Master of Me podcast. Master of Me? Hey, my man. What do you mean master? How do you become master of anything? You tell me. You focus all of your energy on one thing. One thing, man.
Phil, welcome to the show, man.
Have me, bro. Super excited. Like I said, I've known you for a long time.
It's true.
And I think, thinking back a little bit, I think I've known you longer.
Longer than that.
Yeah, I was thinking about it this morning, like, because you grew up wrestling.
Wrestling,
And I grew up wrestling. I went to Pueblo High School, and you went to Sunnyside, correct?
Yep.
And I think I remember watching you wrestle back in the day. I
Yeah.
don't know, what weight class were you? I forgot.
Man, I think I went between like 19s, 25s, like 30s, 45, like
I
all
think
those
you
areas.
used to wrestle the Eastlaws brothers back in the day.
Dude, Esau's, David Esau broke my nose. I
remember
swear to
I was
God, I
there.
was at Florida Wells.
All right, I didn't want to put that out there on the show, but I was there, and I
Yeah.
remember you had braces, right?
Yes,
and he
I did.
busted open your whole mouth and
Whole
everything,
mouth.
and
Yes.
I remember that clear as day. Stuck in my memory forever. I just want to put you out there like that on your own podcast, but you did it for me, so we're good. We're good.
It is okay. You know what, though, man? To be wrestling, I think it was Florida Wells that tournament. First and second against, like, he's deemed like the Esau's brothers.
Three-time
like,
state champion.
100%. Like,
Yeah, man.
just to be there battling. And I know that I was working enough to, like, I'm going to say it how I feel. Like, if for him to play a little dirty, you know, I know that I was putting some work in there. So I feel good about that. Like, you know, I walked away with fucking crazy, bro. Did you mention that?
You still got it?
I still
You
have
still got it.
It broke, but that's a second place medal or something like that. I don't know.
Broken nose, broken medal. Check it out, bro. That's dope.
It's wild that like I keep stuff like that because they're moments in life, right? And we're capturing them. Who knows, like when I would ever have to bring that story out again?
Yeah.
And like that was the rawest form of like bringing that back out. And
bro.
because we were talking about it and. Yeah, that wrestling has been tremendous in my life. Like, it has shaped me from then. You know, my body doesn't move the way that it does back then, but at the same time, my mind does. Like, I still feel like I can compete like that. And I still get the same feeling of, even if I'm not first place, I'm second place or third place in stuff that I'm still doing, I still feel like, dang, I'm giving a run for my money, or I'm trying, or I'm pushing at it. Like, I remember that same tournament, like, that was the first time Coach Bravo really, like, took interest into me. He was like, okay, like, he cornered me on that one. And, like, before to get the coach's attention, like, you'd have to, like, be a stud. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to get the coach in your corner.
I got a story for that one. I know that one.
Yes, dude. So that's funny that you brought that up. But last topic on that, there was, I think we were at regionals, and the Esau's brothers were all sitting and watching, and I think it was Steve Lopez, Coach Steve. I love that dude. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, that's my boy right there.
They were watching me, and we were on these elevated mats, and like I had threw this dude from New Jersey, and like slammed him and then pinned him, and I remember just looking in the Pueblo corner because David was in there, and it was like I'm a dog. Like I just wanted, because I was the only dude. I was up on an elevated stage. I just got a pure like victory that felt like just flawless, and then like I looked over like I'm a dog. Like,
yeah, bro. There's so many lessons that I learned from wrestling.
Right.
And I'd say one, it's that just the mentality and just how much mental it is.
Right.
Because you can know all the drills, you can know all the tricks, you can have all the strength, and that's actually how I kind of made a name for myself on the wrestling team, was because I was supposed to. First year wrestling, never wrestled a real match in my life, and it was the blue versus blue, JV versus varsity, and I had to wrestle little Abraham, and I beat him.
Right.
And I always know, like to this day, like he was a way better wrestler than me. Like I could never compete with him. But that was a psychological thing where I knew, like, I have to beat him. Like I have to beat him. Like I have to. And ever since then, it was just a whole. I got treated differently.
Right.
You know, the respect level was different, and then not even for them, but just for myself. Like, I had that confidence that I needed to where it made me a pretty decent wrestler, and I still use that mindset to this day, to where it's like there's so much mental that is involved in things that we do, and people don't even realize it.
Right. I think that's important to talk about, because it's not just like the proof is in the pudding as a wrestler. Like, you can't be the best shit talker. You like, those can all help you, but at the same time, like, if you're not putting up like a dub or being the stud in the room, like you're defined differently. So like now, like we're still pushing in a different time, but it feels the same of like, all right, I have to put up numbers for myself. I have to like improve in these areas because if I do, like those are my wins. Like that's me being a stud now versus then. And people are watching, the same people in the room. Like you notice when you walk around people, you have respect from other people, and it's like, damn, that felt good in the wrestling room to get that win because people respect me different. And then you get it now in life because you're doing things and they're watching you and they're like, man, I'm watching you, or I'm doing this. Like keep doing what you're doing, and it's like, dang, I'm on track. I'm in a vision, just like a wrestler would be when they're just locked in all season. And now we're locked in a different season in our life, and getting acknowledged for it feels good. Like it's weird. Like you try not to pride or like build yourself off of needing that, but at the same time, when you get it, like it feels good. Like when you talked about the introduction, like you know what I mean? Like that is for you at the same time, like to even talk highly about another person. Like I feel like there's not enough of that. Like people are just praising people. Like get it.
That's just one thing that I guess you say I was raised on.
Right.
Is like, and like I'm sure I've said things or forgotten people, but I just was raised to not forget where I came from. And there's even people that you could say that I hate or people that I have issues with. I still respect them and I still give them, like, I'll give you an example. Like there's this barber that I used to work with, and honestly, like I hate the dude. Like I still don't talk to him to this day, right? But he taught me so much, and I learned how to be a better barber because of him. And he didn't teach me, I guess you would say, the right way, meaning like clowning on me all the time, making fun of my haircuts, till it made me like motivated to just be better. And so to this day, like even when I teach classes on haircutting, I mention this guy. And it's crazy because it's like nobody would really do that when you're supposed to have like an arch enemy that you know that you didn't really, because even to this day, like if I saw him in the street, we probably wouldn't even say hi to each other. But I still respect him. But I still respect him because if it wasn't for what he did, I wouldn't be the barber that I became.
That's a valuable lesson. And some people are going to teach you what to do and what not to do in life. But like either way, you can give gratitude and be like grateful for that person in your life because you wouldn't have known to make that adjustment in your life because you can't change what you can't see, but you can see how you're responding. And if it's not working, like if they're pushing your buttons and then you're responding a certain way, like, you know, they're just a person. It's like seeing a snake for a snake. Snakes are snakes. That it is what it is. You can't be mad when it bites you. Like I'm make an enemy against a person, like a snake that bites me. I know it's a snake and I put my hand next to it. The same thing goes for if you can see people for who they are and just accept it, then you have no expectation. You're not setting this like this belief in that person or this trust in the person to treat you a certain way. You just, you know what it is, and you can live with it. There. And then from there, you're not getting hurt. If they bite, you're like, damn, I got too close. That's cool.
I think that's a lesson that I've probably learned like within the past 3 years, just having very little expectations of people. And I think the biggest lesson that I learned as far as like even like just training barbers and helping people grow is like I always had an expectation of me. So like if I could do this, you should be able to do this. Then I had to realize, oh, well, there's not a lot of people like me. And not everybody's goals or visions are my visions, so I can't expect have those expectations of people. If, you know what I mean, if that's not for everybody. And so I had to realize that, you know, within the past 3 years, I would say, of just having very low expectations of people and not being hurt when it doesn't work out, or maybe say we're not friends no more, or they don't work for me no more. Like I just had to just know, like I had my time with you. I know I did what I was put here to do for you, and we move on.
I think that's a good way to look at it because we're living life moment by moment by moment. And in this moment, like we're both all in, locked in, like this is what we have. We don't know if this windstorm is going to take us all out. You know what I mean? Like we don't know if tomorrow's promised. So we have this moment, and when this moment's done, you move to your next moment, I move to my next moment in life. And that's our next moment, and everything's all in on there. So it's like living intentional and not really holding on to the way we would when, like, our childhood shaped us, right? Like, it's, like you said, coming from that beginning, your humble beginning that you were blessed with, right? That's a different perspective to look at. Like, if you didn't see life the way that you saw it, you wouldn't be the person that you are today. So it's not a parent's fault. It's not a, you know, any kind of figure that you looked at in life to guide you or coach you. Like, maybe, and this is me just throwing this out there, maybe they were there or not there. You know what I mean? And if they're not there, maybe that has inspired you to, again, just throwing this out there, to be that person to now coach and teach and educate, like be a leader in the community and show people like how to switch things. If you didn't have that like passion, it could be because someone also taught you what not to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is the way not to do it.
I think it's a mixture of both.
Right.
Because like a lot of people don't know this, but my dad's a pastor and he has his own church, so he's a a pillar in the industry, in the community. He helps a lot of people, but like growing up, he was there. I wasn't say he wasn't present, but I didn't look up to him in that light where like, oh man, I want to be just like him. Actually, like anybody that's a pastor's kid could probably relate. Like being a pastor's kid, that's the last thing you want to do is be a pastor, right? Like you don't want to do that. And so I didn't grow up saying like, oh man, I want to be just like my dad, but he taught me things that allowed me to be the person I am. But then same thing, like I did grow up in a broken home, so I did have those letdowns. And I think that's where a lot of people in society are just trying to like protect themselves from being let down all the time. And I feel like it hurts a lot of relationships and it hurts a lot of people, like themselves included, of not being able to, heal and not being able to, just move on.
Right. And the fastest way to heal is to forgive, right?
Exactly.
Like if you can just, going back to snake concept, like a parent for a parent, like they're doing the best that they can based off how they see life.
Exactly. And that's like generational.
Right.
That's like, I see tendencies from my mother that my grandma had or my nana had, right? And I'm just like, oh, so that's just being passed down. And I completely understand what you mean by like, not just, okay, this is what my parents taught me to do, but this is what my parents taught me not to do. And I still apply that like in business. I apply that in especially like even when working in the barbershops, right? There was owners that I learned from that I'm like, I'm going to run my barbershop exactly like that. Then there was owners that I work for, like, I'm going to run it exactly not like that. Like, I would never do it like that, And so either way, I still respect them the same. Because even like working at So Fresh, like, I learned a lot of things from Paul. You know what I mean? And even now you could say, like, we went on 2 different paths as far as, like, barbershops or just styles of barbershops. But I still respect the guy so much, bro. Like, I love Paul to death. I got nothing bad to ever say about Paul. Because he taught me a lot of things. Like, he taught me how to be more organized with my appointments and my schedule. I remember the first day I worked there, I was booked. And all the guys were, like, all impressed, but I was scrambling, unorganized. And he's like, yo, like, you should get an appointment app, bro. Like, do you write them down or anything? I was like, no, I got them all right here in my head. Or I got all the text messages. He's like, no, you should get an app. And it was before apps were even apps.
Dang.
Like, he had it, like, set. I forgot what it was called. It was something for notes, though. Like, it wasn't a booking app like we have now. So he was using that before booking apps even existed. And so, like, he taught me that trait, and it just stuck with me forever, and it keeps me organized with barbering and just anything that we do.
Damn, it's crazy how something like that, like it's a push off, and you learn what you need to learn from the people while you're with that time.
Exactly.
Like even if it's for 10 minutes or 10 years, like everybody's time is precious, and you get to absorb everything that you can and try to bring as much value as you can too, because I'm pretty sure you help that shop in a lot of ways. And you do that and you leverage, and then you move on. Everybody moves, and it's clean and cool, which is the hope that everybody can see it that way, right?
Yes.
Like in a lot of times, like you said, there's enemies out there. There's other barbers that, a lot of times it comes from people not fulfilling their purpose or feeling passionate about what they do. So there's 2 ways to build yourself. You're either just build your highest building that you can, or you're knocking all the other buildings down to look like the highest building.
I just heard that this morning. It was Alex Hormozy.
Nice.
You know Alex Hormozy?
Yeah, the course dude. He
Alex
makes
Hormozy. Well,
the
he's got
school
school
courses.
games,
Yes.
but he does acquisition.com. He's like full-blown entrepreneur, used to be gym owner.
Mm-hmm.
And I follow him and his wife, and I consume, honestly, probably at least an hour or 2 a day of their content.
No way.
I'm that much of
That's
a
tight.
fan. And he said that this morning where he was like, when you're dealing with haters or you're dealing with people that are doubting you or wanting to see you lose, he's like, you could do 1 of 2 things. He's like, you just said, you can knock them down, or you can build your building up so high that that you put a shadow over there.
Dang.
And I was just like, damn, like that's crazy. And so it's dope that you brought that up, because I literally just heard that at the gym this morning.
Everything works out for a reason, and it's like it's the truth, right? Like it is a way to do it. But at the same time, we learn, we grow, and we continue to make the adjustments. I think that's what's important for us is to just see our own flaws, and that's something I'm working on this year. Is just like, to thine own self be true. Like really look in the mirror and not lie to myself about like inflating how cool I am or inflating how much business I got or anything like that. Like it's not mine until like it's in the bank. Like it's all the way through. Or at the same time that I'm not defined by that loan that I did, last month, because it's over and gone. Like it's, can I keep the rhythm?
See, that's what was tough, I feel like, with real estate, because there's times where, even to this day, I do plan to do that eventually. I would love to get into real estate. and being able to, build wealth for my family. But I think about it like, is that a career that I would ever pick? Like, I always self-reflect, I'm just like, man, like so they gotta sit on some money for a while, because like you don't just make cash every day. Like you sit on it, or you have homes that you're closing on. So there'll be times that you get no money coming in.
Right.
And there's times you just get a shit ton of money at once. And it's like, that takes a lot of control and a lot of like,
discipline.
Yeah.
On how you use the money, where you put it away.
Yeah.
Like you can never really get a system if the numbers are different all the time. Like it's tough.
And it's like, that's where I say it would be hard for somebody like me, because I've been a barber for so long. Like I'm used to just making cash all the time.
Right.
And so people ask me now too, because I really don't cut hair no more. Like I'm like 1.5
Fridays,
days.
baby.
Yeah, Friday's my day, bro, right? And so I don't know if I could even let that go, just because it's just solidified. Like I could literally live off of, well, technically I do, live off of just my haircut money.
Right.
So to let that go would be big for me, just to be like, I don't need that no more, or it's not the chapter of my life that I'm in no more, because it's so solidified for me, because of just 20 years straight of just building clientele and building relationships with people. That'd be tough.
Yeah, that's God, we have so much in common. Like you just reminded me of like I was doing a silk screening business on Park in Pennsylvania, and at that time Big A was working in a barbershop called Calavera Skull Fades.
Yeah.
And they were in that little spot, and they had just
Adrian
moved.
Gutierrez?
Yeah, they
Oh,
just
yeah,
moved,
yeah.
or they had moved from that spot, and Calavera moved in.
Yeah.
Right across from the police station.
Yeah, I
But
remember.
we were talking about like how to do barbering and real estate at the same time, and like I could be the lender, be right there in the chair, everything happen, like set an office up in the back.
Yeah.
But it's tough, right? Because you're either all in or you're not. Like so it's hard to walk that line, and I struggle with that already.
Yeah.
Of like, if I'm a content creator one day, like that's all I want to focus on.
Yeah.
And I get like hyper focused on that, and it's like I have to remember I have to go do loans. Like
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
like, or I
See,
get to do
that's-
loans, like it's tough, man.
That's like they call it like that addictive personality. I don't like to use that word just because it carries a negative context, but I don't care. Like I say it all the time, like I got addictive personality, so when people will hit me with that all the time, bro, like I do a lot,
Right.
but I say no a lot.
Right.
Meaning like, yo, you gotta jump on crypto, bro,
Right,
and
right.
yo, you gotta do this, and yo, and like, and I've just learned I have to say no.
Right.
Or if I do, like I have to learn to set boundaries.
Right.
Or it's like somebody would hit me with a proposal of something that we could do, and I just be like, yo, I gotta be honest with you, I can't give you a lot of my time.
Right.
But then I have to just learn to say no, because if not, then I just get fixated on it.
Right.
I just get super hyper.
And you want to do a good job at it, like
Exactly.
there's all that, and if you can't give it 100, like you're gonna feel a certain way, and you don't want that
Yeah.
going out. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's a tough concept for sure. That is that's how I developed like the 6 F's to success, and we started the podcast talking about that. But those are like small areas that I can give my time back to, because it like pushes towards my bigger goals. And like there was at one time where like even like faith was like I go in and out of like praying to God, and then some months or quarters or years it's like straight meditating, and I'm doing like these other things. I'm just trying to stay connected. Like sometimes I'll go on runs or I'll write, so that way I can feel connected. You know what I mean? I can get the inspiration and the guidance that I need, stuff like that. But like I'll set small goals every quarter. One of them will be in that area.
Yeah.
And then family, we talked about that, like time blocking, like how many dates am I going to go on?
Yeah.
How much time can I put in towards my family? So I try to set it for like 45 minutes a day, and then add that up. So then I know that if I miss a day because I'm out of town or whatever the case is, I can catch up on it. I don't just lose. You know what I mean?
I had to, and it's funny because that's kind of where I kickstarted the year with like my content or just like my education, because we do classes every Tuesday for us. We own a salon, me and my girlfriend, and I started the year off about time management. And just because I would just look and people, I just hear people like, oh, I don't have time.
Right.
Or, oh, I do this, I do that. And it's like, well, you have to make time, one.
Right.
And two, like if you're not time blocking, you're not, seeing what you're actually doing,
Right.
you're never going to fix it.
Right.
And that's what I said. Like, I just posted a video the other day where it's like, how much Netflix do you consume?
Right.
How much scrolling do you do?
Right.
If you have a real conversation with yourself and figure those numbers out, you'd be surprised.
Right.
You'd be like, oh, well, I kind of do. And even sleep-wise, like I had an argument with somebody yesterday. I was like, bro, like in reality, your body only needs like 4 hours of deep sleep.
Right.
And they're like, I don't believe that. That must be different
Right.
for men. I'm like, well, I don't know what makes this different for humans. But like I get it, rest is key. But in reality, like I probably go 5-6 hours.
Right.
That's what I do. And if I don't, then I feel more tired. It's weird. But learning how to manage time is really like where I'm trying to like go with this year and running with.
Yeah, I think it's important. It's a big piece because they say you are what you repeatedly do. You
Yeah.
are what you repeatedly do.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, depending on what your day actually looks like
Yeah.
if you just recorded every single moment of what you did,
People had no idea.
like you wouldn't know that
Yeah.
you're a talker or
Yeah.
you're a person who messes around.
Yeah. So we talked about it yesterday in the class, right? And I screenshotted my whole schedule and put it up on the screen. And on the screen, it showed every minute,
Right.
4 a.m. to 6, gym, right? Get son ready for school.
Right.
Yeah, I even put in travel time.
Right.
Just because I know, because then what bothered me would
I'm the same way.
What would bother me was see gaps in the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would be blocked in the
Right.
30 minutes little gap. I'm like, travel
you're
time.
actually doing something in that
Yeah.
time. Like,
And so I think the only thing that I haven't gone as far as is eating yet.
right.
But I do try to stay good on like with our meal preps and stuff like that. But yeah, bro, like
But
that
like even time
blocking
blocking the 15, 20 minutes, 30
Yeah.
minutes of when you're sitting and
Yeah.
eating.
So then after I explained it to them, I said, "Do you guys notice a pattern?" And they were just got quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Look, what I realized is like I'm a different kind of person as far as how I work.
Right.
I can't work on something for more than an hour to 2 hours.
Right.
Otherwise, like I just get lost and like I get
Or
tired.
you're wasting time.
Yeah, I feel like I'm wasting time. When my girlfriend, on the other hand, she can work on a project for 5 or 6 hours. She won't even leave the house. Like she'll be in the bed for 5 hours straight, working on her computer, trying to build something out.
Right.
And I just learned that I can't do that.
Right.
So I actually got the advice from a mentor of mine. He lives in Florida. And he was like, "Yeah, you got a time block, bro." He's like, "I do every business that I own." Because I told him, like, "Bro, you're super hyper successful. How do you manage all the stuff that you're doing?" And he just said, "Yeah, I just work on things 2-hour increments." So I then spread it out throughout the week. So then after I did all my numbers of what we're doing, it showed how many hours I spent on each thing, because I used to think that I had to do like, okay, well, Mondays is just for this.
Right.
Tuesdays is just for this. And it never worked out.
Right.
Like
a
Thursdays
theme
was
day,
supposed to
yeah.
be content day, right?
Yeah.
Never filmed on content. And something always came up. So just spread it out. At least that I know that I got those 10 hours in of content that I was supposed to film, or 10 hours with my son. Those kind of things is what really helped me.
I like that concept too of like small increments of it.
Yeah.
And it's because it like, again, you don't find a way to fuck it up, because that's one thing. Like what gets big and important that day,
Yeah.
that you don't go do your content, or you
Yeah.
don't go what you designated for that day. So if you get a little bit done of it, at least you can like say that when you go to bed at night that I got this and this done in that area. It's like people who meditate. Like if you don't meditate because you're gonna do it all on one day, or some class you're supposed to go
Sundays
to,
is just for meditation.
right, or something like
yeah.
that. But like, how realistic is that? Like that it's gonna be perfect, and the stars are gonna align on that day all the time for it to go.
Especially now, like with social media and like even just phones in general.
Right.
Bro, there's no way. Like you saw me sitting like out here, I'm like trying to check my phone and looking like it's nonstop. So I don't even know if that'd be possible. Like I've tried. Like I just throw my phone, like stay away, but then 5 minutes later I'm gonna go grab it and look at it again.
Yeah, that is the it's a weird ass. Who knows what kind of classes we're gonna be teaching down the road, where it's how to get away from
How
your
to
phone.
get away from your phone, and how to super lock in.
Right, 100%. And I've already started seeing that stuff of like apps of like you have to do to 15 push-ups before to let you open your phone. Like
Oh,
it'll record you have to
shit.
do push-ups,
Yeah.
and like that's if you're gonna mess around, this is how you get into Instagram right here.
Yeah.
Like you got to pay your way in.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to pay the price, then it's not time to do that.
What gets me is like I'll put my phone on Do Not Disturb and I'll put it down, face down. Then I'll be typing on the computer and the message will pop up from the thing. I'm like, oh no, like turn off, like go away. And then I can't help but grab it and write back. Especially like with with the clients that I'm dealing with now, they demand a lot of me.
Right.
So like it's and then I couldn't say it has to be that way, but I've set up the business that way.
You choose it in.
Yeah, and so I've developed that culture where I talk to all my clients like every day.
Right.
And this isn't barbering. This is another thing that we're doing, but it's like that, like constant communication.
Right.
And I just felt like that was what I needed to do to be able to, how do I say this in a nice way? To be able to beat the competition. I don't know how else to say it. It's just like I had to do things that the competition wasn't.
Right.
And so that's what I found was very helpful, just building relationships and being in communication with clients at all times.
Yeah, dude, I think that's super fair. And that comes from somewhere, right? Like we were talking about, like the communication piece in general.
Oh,
like
barbering. That's barbering all day.
100%. So now, like being connected, you feel like everything's cool. Like you know where I'm at. It's expectations. Like what's coming. Versus, and it could be a weak link too. Like that happens where if you let it go, then too much time passes, and then it's like, fuck, dude, like, why did I even forget that? Like, you know, it could be a flaw, so it's like, all right, I'm gonna over communicate. I'm gonna do it the way like I would want someone to do it for me.
Exactly.
Because it also helps you in turn. Let's like having a gym partner, right? Like if I get to work out with you or work out you, I'm working out too. Like it's just pushing me to work.
And that's what I learned in barbering was like communication is everything. So like I used to hate when I would see like, you know, barbers going on Instagram talking about like, you know, use the booking app, don't hit my phone number, blah, blah, blah. And like, I get that.
Right.
And I would tell my client, if it was me, I would tell my clients, use the app, and if you don't see anything available, if you have any questions, then call me.
Right.
You know, like you're setting somewhat of a boundary, but I'm not telling you don't communicate with me. Because that's what I've learned like in business, not just barbering, that genuinely when it comes to customer service stuff, like we're giving a service out, right? The service-based business. Is that genuinely people just want to feel wanted. Right. So when you make them feel wanted, they're gonna pay you money.
Dude, that is, man, I've heard that one time with the loan where like, for whatever reason, like years ago, I didn't get back to her in time. Yeah. And she told me those same words and it hit me in the heart. Like she just said, the way she said it was like, it makes me feel like you don't care. Exactly. And I was like, damn, I do care. Then why would I even do that? Like
especially nowadays, like in our generation now, and I hate to say it again or like keep saying it, but we're dealing with a lot of broken people. Like we're all like the divorce rate is crazy high. Wasn't it like 90%?
You know what I heard too? Someone was talking about in the office that yesterday was the highest divorce day. Like 66% of divorces happen. Like it's a week after the new year. Everybody's on their new year, new me shit.
From finances. I'm like, I can't do this shit no more. I quit. But the fact that we have a society that's built like that now, people just want to feel wanted. And that's what I always tell people. That's why people join gangs. That's why people join like. You see Primerica and you see Herbalife and all these, you know, nothing wrong with those companies, but what they do is they build a culture, right? So then you want to be a part of it, because genuinely people want to feel wanted. So when you're in that community, you feel a part of it, and it helps you and it motivates you. Because I'm not saying it in a negative, like it's a great thing that community is everything, right? Because even like my boy Q, he's got the sisterhood, right? I think they're dropping tomorrow. Actually, starts tomorrow.
Oh, dude, I'm in the brotherhood this.
Next week. I'll be at the grand opening tomorrow to support my boy, right? And the fact that he builds a community is how he gets so many people to sign up. And it's been used for years. You know what I mean? Like I said, like every big corporation.
Any seminar, any speaker, like to get you to the next step, they're all working off that.
And that's where I feel like people don't understand as well as like that's where society has completely shifted to. We were just talking about like Alex Hormozy with school games. He created the app School Games, right, to build community. It's like a version of like a Discord with LinkedIn kind of deal, right? Yeah. And so
a Kajabi or something like that that's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Video watching and
and so like but the biggest thing is the school games. Right. The word that's so important with that software is games. Right. So like in this time of our, you know, society, everything is all about gamification. Right. So everything is a game. Like think about like, because me personally, I don't play video games at all. Right. But think about how many men play video games all the time. Right. So everything is, and kids, gamification is where society has shifted, and so to create a community style games, it's a wrap.
That's kind of how I set with. I have my group of people that are attracted to me, like they're a small group, and it's because it's built around accountability. And so like it's of the 4 a.m. crew. Like when you said up at 4 a.m., I'm like, fuck, finally somebody like understands.
Up at 3, at the gym at 4. Let's go.
Someone understands like what it's like to need to get it done and have a bigger why behind that, because if not, like it's a tough game. But it's more of it is actually like trying to push those numbers up on the goals as a game. Like and maybe I'm using it in the wrong context.
No, it's the concept of fulfillment.
Right.
You feel fulfilled when you accomplish something.
Right.
So when you make it a game,
Right.
why do you binge play games? Because you want to feel you want to beat the game, or you want to beat the guy, and then you feel accomplished.
Right.
Like, I killed him. I see the guys in the bar. Oh, I whooped your ass last night on fucking Fortnite or whatever the fuck they play.
That's why I'm excited about Brotherhood, because when he said it was a challenge, I'm like, oh, well,
Exactly.
let's throw some on the wall here. Like,
Exactly. Remember the show The Challenge on MTV, bro? That show's been running for like 30 years, bro. It's like 35 seasons in. Like, it's not running that long for no reason, bro.
Right.
And like it's cool, like, because you got the drama and you got the challenges, right? And you got a prize. So it has everything that people like, right? Entertainment, type shit. And so it's why it stays still running to this day.
That's the decay part of life, is if humans are goal setting species. Like dogs don't wake up in the morning like, I'm gonna catch 8 cats today and bury 3 bones. Like humans do, though. They're like,
Yes.
I'm gonna get new clients today, or I'm gonna do this
Dogs
today.
just do that shit for the fun.
They
do that because they're trained to do
their
it.
habit is part of
They
their
don't
life.
have, they don't have no plan.
They're not
behind it.
waking up like, this is what's gonna drive me today. Versus as a human, like, we're setting goals, and that's why I said the decay version of it is because that's the most unattractive trait. If you just run into another man that doesn't have goals on what they're trying to do, and it's
See?
like, fuck, dude, what the hell?
Hey, so you get it, like
Right.
you just said, like, yo, this guy gets me, right? I'm about to say this shit. This guy gets me. Like,
Yeah.
there's times I guess you could say where I could be perceived as like an asshole,
Right.
or whatever they want to say, and it's a lot of times it's that,
Right.
where it's like I'll meet people and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know if I can fuck with you like that, bro. And it doesn't mean like I don't like them as a person,
Right.
but it's just like I'm on a different frequency of what I want for my life. What you want is nothing wrong with what you want,
Right.
but that's not what I want. So it's hard for me to resonate with you
Right.
if I'm over here
Right.
and we're over here. Neither one's better or worse, but it's just like this is where I'm going and this is where you're going. I gotta stay tunnel vision of what I'm doing.
Right. And it's, to me, this is like, it can be deemed as a religious concept, but it's not. It's like, if you take God, G-O-D,
Yeah.
and break it down as an acronym, you're either growing or dying. You're
shit.
either in growth or decay.
On the bar right there.
And so, like, if you're not in the growth mindset and you're not pushing after it, then you're not fulfilling anything. Like, what is your purpose here on earth? Like, what value do you bring?
And see, like, just from my past, for a long time I was told that it was a selfish trait. And at the same time, it's like, I was just talking about it the other day, it's like, I want to be, you're telling me that I'm being selfish, but I can't be selfless to you if I can't take care of myself.
Right. Yeah, it is. For me, I see this concept, it's the lighthouse, where a lighthouse stands strong, bold, spins a light, and it does one job. It does its job, and then there's a tugboat, and people want tugboats to go out there and rescue them, save them, bring
They
them
don't
back
wanna learn
in.
how to swim.
But in a very, like, if you're the tugboat, because that's your business or whatever, then you're going out, you're rescuing, you're coming back, but you're coming back beat up.
Yeah.
You're not strong and sturdy like the other one.
Oh, I got scars, bro. I got scars, bro.
Yeah,
I got beat. I got wounds.
But those are the shaping that we need in life, because if not, you never really understand that concept of like, man, I have to take care of myself, because if I don't wake up at 4 and I don't come home with a better mindset, I don't wake up like Chipper. I wake up like the Little Dipper, bro. Like,
Yeah, and that's like, I had somebody tell me that the other day. Like one of my clients slash one of my students is just somebody that I help mentor and just try to guide him. He's like, for a long time, well, self-reflection. I was like, yo, like I feel like I'm always trying to save people, and I think about it too. Like I remember back in there, I had a friend that would always say like, yo, you're always trying to fix everybody, bro. Like why do you keep trying to fix all these people? And he told me the other day that my client, he was like, I gotta figure this shit out on my own, bro. Like don't try to like guide me, because I get frustrated because he's like, oh, I want to do this, and I'm like, oh, bro, oh, I want to do this. I'm like, bro, like I did all that, and that shit doesn't work. Like, and he's like, no, I got to figure it out on my own, bro. But I took it like he didn't trust me.
Right.
That's what it was. I took it like, oh, he doesn't fucking trust me because I'm telling him not to do something and he's still doing it. And he had to tell me like, yo, like I got to kind of figure it out, bro. Like I love your help. It's like, but at the same time, I got to have some wounds.
Right.
And that's what I always tell people, like when they ask me about anything, like barbering, business. Like I'm not the best barber, I know that. I'm not the best businessman. I go, but I've been through a lot of shit.
Right.
Like I've been through everything, bro.
Right.
And so if I didn't go to those things, I wouldn't be who I am right now.
100%.
So when I have conversations with people about business, it's like, oh yeah, I've been through that. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in taxes. Oh shit, I remember taxes. I remember all that. And so it's just a lot of experience. Nothing to do with skill.
It's kudos to you, man. I mean, here's another common place that we have in ground is I went to Dunbar Barber Academy in 2010, right before I went to the U of A, and like I was rebuilding their website, and when I did that, like there was pictures of you in there, like with a freaking like mohawk or something like that, like. But I remember like being around people, and some of the people, like we were still in this transition of like we still had people in gangs or people in like that did drugs big time or like they were still doing like there was just the cool part is you were in a melting pot of different type of people. Like you can really distinguish fast like who's who. The hard part is just being in it and not like responding to certain things because it would be easy to fuck up your career. And a lot of people are in a weird way looking for a way to fuck up their goal. So why would you start a fight in class? Why would you do something that, I mean, Chris didn't mess around. Like you were gonna get pulled outside and get talked to. Like Teal didn't mess around. Like so with like that concept of knowing that if people don't have a purpose or a vision, then like those are scary people to be around because they're almost subconsciously they're waiting for the time to like repeat the story of when they fucked up school, when they fucked up barber college, when they fucked up their marriage, when they fucked up
generational cycle.
100% of the things that like they didn't make an adjustment on. And we are what we repeatedly do. So if they see that story and they go back like, oh, they think of themselves like as a fuck up where they fuck things up. Like they're waiting for the next time that they're gonna fuck it up. And it's like, damn, I don't want to be the next time you fuck it up. So like, the way I use my words was always in like being of service. Like, what is it? How do you pronounce his name? Zahid? Haid?
Zahid, yeah.
Zahid.
That's what I was talking about.
I did his business cards and stuff like that, and he cut my hair the other week. And
That's
like,
funny. That's what I was talking about.
he was talking about a bunch of stuff. Which were you talking about? As far the person you hate and never want to see him again?
Yeah. No, my client.
I'm gonna only cut that part out of the video. It's on like Donkey Kong. That's funny.
Right? Yeah, Zahid is my client,
Right.
and he's taken so many classes from me, and he's trusted me throughout the years, and I commend him, and I'm so blessed to have him in my life because, like we said earlier, I don't forget where I came from. I don't forget the people that believed in me, especially the people that believed in me when nobody else did.
Right.
And so the fact that he's willingly invested in me for years now, forever like is gonna have that place in my heart.
I think you said this earlier. It feels like somebody cares. Like they just want to be listened to, heard, and that is a testament in your life, in your path of like, oh shit, you've seen a lot of my life. Yeah. And whether you were in it every day or not, like you've been there still.
Yeah. And that's what I told him too. Like when he reached out to me again to hire me to help him with his marketing and his videos, I was like, why? Right. You know, like, why me though? Like, you know, you've seen everything that I've been through. You've learned all you can. You've extracted as much information out of me as you can over these years. Why more? Right. And he says, like, I've just been watching you. He's like, I just been watching you, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck with it.
Dang. That is it's a good feeling though to like, then you find a calling, right? It's like, all right, now I feel purposeful. Like I have a purpose here, and it's my value that I'm pushing out is paying off. I'm justly rewarded for the service that I render to mankind, and that is like a service you're providing. That you deserve to be rewarded for. Like you're impacting somebody in a positive way. Yeah. And so if you were like ever doubted the fact that you're on path or not, like that is a testament that you're on it. Like, damn, that hit me.
I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a chiropractor and a life coach. When he came over to my house the other day, we had dinner, and he said something that just stuck with me. I don't think he even realized it, but he was talking about his mentor and how when he left, they parted ways. Right. He was like, I made sure that I commended him and gave him a public recognition. Right. He said, because I know that he needs that the most. And I'm like, well, why do you say it like that? And he's like, because he's so used to getting beat up and not being recognized for what he does for people that he needed that. Right. And that was the way I left it. And he's like, and I knew that meant, like, it meant a lot to him. So when he said that, I was like, damn, like, I feel
that's thoughtful, right?
I was like, oh, man, like, I need
speaking someone's love language.
Right. And that's where I've always gauged people too, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I've always just gauged people like when people always tell me like, thank you for how much how much you've helped me, or thank you for this, thank you for that, and I just like, just don't forget where you came from. That's all I ask. I say, you don't gotta pay me, you don't gotta do this, you don't gotta do that. I go, just don't forget where you came from. And later down the road, realizing, oh well, that's gonna happen no matter what. So I just gotta take the W's when I can take the W's.
100%.
But yeah, it made me reflect on that. I'm just like, damn, like that's true though. Like public recognition as a leader is probably the best form of flattery that you can give somebody. Because people that you have to constantly tell them, that doesn't happen a lot with a leader, right? A leaders, they rarely get that until you reach a certain status. But even when you reach that certain status, people are still trying to knock you down.
Right. And it ties back to the expectation concept too, of like not setting an expectation. Like if I'm going to give you roses now, like these are the roses, because in 5 years, 4 years, 20 years, if one of us dies first, like there's going to be a chance there was no time to really tie the knot on something. So it's like we have now. And if I have roses to give, I'm going to give them without expectation of needing anything in return.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to look each other in the eye and, like, give hugs and kisses of, like, you did this for me, you did this for me. Like, if I got something to give and nothing in return, like, high five, pour it off, because now I've given. And the way that it works is that if I give enough that way, then I'll get mine, it'll receive in turn. So, like, that concept of just pouring into other people and being authentic, dude, that is the hardest part of, like...
That's the secret too. Right. Like when it comes to, I always tell people, like when it comes to social media, is like how did I grow? And I just stopped caring. Right. And the problem is I cared for so long of how I sounded, what I said, how I look, what videos I was making. I just literally, like, if you look at my page, I just vlog my whole life. Like, yeah, there's scripted shit, but a lot of that is just my thoughts, and then I write it into a script. But a lot of 80% of the time, it's just all like I call it inaction shots, where I'm actually like this, like we're gonna chop this up, we're gonna make a bunch of content out of it. This is real, like this is from my heart. You know what I mean? Like there was no script involved in this. Those are the best pieces of content that I believe I have, and it might not be the most viralist, but for me, that's what I love to do.
I agree. And that concept of like, when do you, going back to like feeling connected at certain times, like when are you really just flowing and it's coming from a place of like authenticity and it's organic and like you feel the best after that. Like you don't feel out of alignment when you do something like that, and you just let it flow.
That's where I know, like with my page, right? I know that barber tips is what gets the best views. It does the best performing for me, right? But it's the barber tips when I'm teaching a class that have blown up. And it's always me teaching to other people, so they're watching it happen in real life. It's not just some other guy trying to teach you how to do things. And that's what I always tell people, bro. It's like you gotta just be you, man.
I know it's tough, dude. Like I try on, like I did a story like pattern. I posted a review, I posted something mortgage related, something podcast related, and the thing that popped was me coaching wrestling, like in the moment talking. It was like coaching other people on the spot.
Yeah, because people fuck with people.
Right.
And so when you're not connected to the people, they're not gonna watch.
Right. Yeah, that was but it's tough because I'm trying in other areas and it's just not, like I'm fishing and it's not popping like that.
That's like reality shows though. Is people watch it because it's really happening. And then, yeah, there's some stage, like you could say like most of it's stage, but there still is there's still genuinely emotions coming out and words that come out that weren't supposed to be there, right? And like Jersey Shore, that's why people fuck with Jersey Shore so much, because it was just watch these kids just do dumb shit and just be themselves. That's all they were, just themselves. And they probably staged some shit, but then you're just sitting. So then you're sitting there watching it, thinking, "Wait, was that staged or did that really happen?" Either way, you're watching.
It's not written words like, "Hey, you got to go do this," and then you figure out how to go do it. Right.
Written plot.
Exactly it.
And that's the same thing with education. Is like there's a plot, and then we just ad lib it. You said something right now that said about like you're trying to figure out with your content, right? Of like how to connect.
What's popping? Yeah.
The thing about realty is what I've learned about like realty and just that industry, or real estate industry, is why do people think about to yourself, like why do people buy from you?
It's the authenticity. Like I keep it.
Okay, so if you're not posting that in your content, right?
How am I going to connect with people?
How are you supposed to connect with the consumer?
Right.
Especially when it comes to buying a home.
Right.
That's where I could say real estate can be tough, because a real estate investment is the biggest investment people are going to probably make in their life.
100%.
Aside from a car.
100%.
Right? Guaranteed.
Right.
So if you can't connect with them on social media, why would they? Because you got a fucking drone running across the house, because you got all these pan shots in the video. And that's where, like, I tell myself every day, like, I should go buy a drone for good shooting. But then I'm like, no, because that's not who I am. Like, that's not the image or the vision that I'm trying to create for my clients. My bad if I block that. That I'm trying to create, right? is I want the consumer to connect with the person, not the house.
Right. Dude, that's intense. I helped young Mac Lawton buy a house, and he does great video for like rappers and stuff like that. And he told me, like, so when I was going through his loan, like it was hard as shit because he's self-employed and like we were working different angles.
Yeah.
And he was driven to get it done, so we were doing it. But like his testimonial, which I only have because it hit me in the heart, that he was dumpster diving like previous in his life, going to having his own home. But to hear him, like I would put him back on, like I should find him and record him, like saying that. But like that story of like being at the closing table and him feeling the impact of like finding food and finding clothes in dumpsters to having his own home to build his family, which him and his family are thriving now. Like, had I not been a part of that journey, like, their life could be different if they were still struggling in a different way.
Yes.
And now they got to a new flight of stairs, found a new way to struggle, but they're doing it together versus, like, even leaving room for separation or anything like that. So that is, it's those moments, like, that I wish that I capture more of, because it's the ones that like they hit me, and if they hit because he chose me for a reason.
Yeah.
The way that I talk, the way that I move, the way that I'm real, like about what we need to get done, I'm straightforward.
Yeah.
That attracted him to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I'm not putting out the content like that, I'm not going to attract the people that I want, because that's also, I want first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
I want people who need me.
But you got to learn how to speak to those people.
100%.
That's what it is.
100%. I get fancy in a suit and they're
Yeah,
like, dude, you're out of my
like,
league, bro.
Exactly. And so not even just that. Like, yeah, like I get that, but
I've heard that before. That's why I threw it out there.
Do you know that the average consumer, right, takes 7 hours of watch time for them to purchase? Right? So for me, I've done classes for barbers. And the dude's like, yo, I've been following you for 5 years, bro. And I'm like, so it took you 5 years to book? Because I've been doing classes for years, right? I was like, it took you 5 years? He said, yeah, man. And I hear it all the time. Even like with the marketing stuff that we're doing. I've been following you for a long time, but I finally decided to pull the trigger. Because all it is because we live in a society right now of everybody's being sold. Every video, right? You're being sold something.
Right.
So everybody's got their guard up every single moment of the day. Like they're watching, right? And then like, fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. Like as soon as you hear like infomercials on TV, do you watch infomercials?
I don't. I wouldn't purposely go out and seek them, but I do because they're in front of me.
But if you had the choice, well, most people, right? If you had the choice, what are you going to do? Change the channel. Right. I'm going to go back, and your channel surfing to your episode comes back on, or you're trying to do, like, now that we have DVR, we can fast forward it, right?
Or what's a radio ad or something like that.
Yeah, even though, like, you don't want to hear those, so it's because people don't want to be sold.
Right.
And so when you can connect with people and build out emotion, they're going to buy.
Right.
And so leading it to say is, like, it's like a Hermosi thing as well. It's like, can you imagine watching Jeff Bezos on his come up, or like a Elon Musk, right? Can you imagine being able to watch that rather than just watching a documentary that they created, like just watching all the vlog of all what they went through?
Right. What was that? Facebook's like garage that they were in, and stuff like that. Like just seeing them in the hustle of that.
Can you imagine that? Like I would consume all of that just to see, like, well, what did he fucking do to be who he is, right? It's the same thing for real estate. It's like if you're vlogging your whole moment, like right now. I'm going to go film a client. Right? And we talked about who it was.
Right. Let me check your time. You got
Good.
time.
And so I'm going to go film them. And what we're doing is we're just vlogging. Like, yeah, there's plots, there's some scripts, but I want to just vlog the process.
Right.
And the reason why I feel like a lot of people don't do that enough is because it takes time.
Right.
So, like, I told one of my other clients, we're like, yo, can you just go and film him golfing all the time? Because the best content you guys have is you guys golfing. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I go, but I can't guarantee it. And she's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get good content out of like us just casually golfing. It's like hit or miss.
Right.
But if you just vlog everything and just collect data and collect clips and you just keep posting it, eventually it's just going to hit.
That's almost the expectation concept again. Like you're setting an expectation that my golf content's going to pop.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what if you're out there golfing and that shit's trash?
Exactly. So how do you outweigh luck? Because essentially you're trying to be lucky.
Right.
What outweighs luck?
Just everything. I would say more evidence of doing more.
Quantity.
Quantity
always outweighs luck.
Right.
So anybody in the real estate, anybody in any industry trying to grow their social medias or just scale their business, it's got to put out quantity, bro. And that's what I always tell people. I've collectively have posted at least 5 times a week for like 10 years.
Right.
Long time.
Right.
And some people get lucky. Some people hit the jackpot and they get one video that blows up, and next thing you know, they have 100,000 followers, and you get that. And then what happens to those people, then they fall off because they have that expectation now of all my videos have to go viral.
Right.
Rather than supplemental, like real estate.
Right.
Real estate isn't a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
That shit takes time.
Right.
You got to sit on properties. You got to, even like when you make investment homes, like you don't get paid right away.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people can't do it.
Right.
And so the same thing with social media. Like, it's a long-term game, and some people get lucky and some people don't. But how do you get rid of luck?
Right. Quantity. And the same goes for my world. Like we just talked about, there's a loan I did in 14 days, and then now I'm going on 30 days, double the time on a loan to get done. And why I brought that up is because I told you in the beginning that I stopped like counting my chickens before they hatch. Like it's not in there until it's done.
Yep.
We've high-fived, they got keys.
Yep.
So everything's like this game in my life of like, I got to get this closed until it's all the way closed. When it's closed, then I'll even put it on the board. Like I'm not writing a list of things that are possibly going to happen.
My girl always tells me that with clients, like when we get onboard clients, I'm like, yo, we got this new client. She's like, did they send the deposit yet? I'm on, no. She's like, then you didn't lock them in. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, yes, all right, I get it. But yeah, like, that's all it is, bro. It's a lot of quantity. And then once you get the quantity, then you produce quality.
Right.
It doesn't mean necessarily on the videos, but it's the quality of what you're doing in the videos, right? And the key secret to that is once you figure out what works, then you just repeat it over and over and over. So then once you figure out what your audience wants to see or what the consumer wants to buy, how they want to buy, you can be more strategic and post less, and and then just really capitalize. Because I see certain like people, especially like barbers, right? They won't put up the quantity that I'm doing, but then they'll post a video and then it'll hit because they figured out the formula of what works for them. Same thing with me. Like I knew haircut tips and tutorials what my audience would see. So if I wanted to get to 100,000 followers right now, I'm just gonna blast 30 days with the freaking barber tips, right? But I know that that's not my purpose. Like my purpose is to leave an impact. My purpose is to educate people. My purpose is to inspire people. So you get a blend of what I'm doing, not just one specific 100%. Niche topic.
100%. What's your idea on? I know we've been talking like really personal, but like if you were to help somebody, what's your viewpoint on people making 4 to 5 different Instagram pages for one for their fitness content, one for their food,
That question a lot.
versus like, I mean, and I'm just speak for myself. I only post in those 6 areas of my life. So I put it all in one place. So that way you get an authentic version of me. If you go look at my profile, that's everything I have to bring to the table.
Yeah, it's funny because I've already audited your page. Okay, to answer your question, it depends on what your goal is. So like I gave you the answer without giving it to you. Like if you want to grow fast and you want to gain the reach, find your niche and blast it, right? Find what people like, not just one topic, like I can only talk about barber stuff. Just because you're talking about barber stuff, it doesn't mean your page is going to grow. You have to find what people want to see from you and then just blast it, right? And that's how you grow the page. But for me, that's contradictory to who I am because I post barber content, motivational content, business content, gym content. Like I post my whole life, but because I'm playing the long game of building a brand.
Right.
And so it's like a saying, right? Like if you had a bouquet of roses, right? And they're all an arrangement, right? And there's different colors. There's 4 different colors. Each color is what you're talking about, like your types of content, right? Once that flower goes bad, it's no longer right. It goes sour. So you could be posting the wrong things that are ruining your brand. Or once that bouquet falls apart and just spreads out, it's no longer a bouquet. And so you have to just figure out who are you? And if you want to build a brand, run with that. So what you're doing isn't wrong. But it depends on your expectations. Like we just said, of what you want from your page.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I guess it's a tough one for me to chew on, knowing that I want to build more financially. The way the beginning of my page is set up as like for first-time home buyers. And then the content that's popping is wrestling coaching. Like so
because the people that followed you before you became a lender are probably correlated to your wrestling background.
And that's hard for me to let go of too, like because when you said remember where you came from, like those are also the people as first-time home buyers. Like one day they're going to buy a house, like I want to be connected with them which
Yeah, but to answer like the multiple pages though, I just say no because, and it's gonna be contradictory as hell, because it's hard enough to run one page, right? One, but if you can handle that caliber, which that's why I say it's contradictory because I'm about to do the same thing. I'm about to build a new page, but it's because I can handle the caliber of how much content I need to produce. One, but two, where I tell clients not to do that is because they end up focusing on the personal page more than the business page. Why do they focus on the personal page? Because the personal page is easy and it's fun. The business page is, man, I gotta sell people, I gotta do this. It's a drag to them compared to, I'm gonna post my dinner. I'm gonna post this, you know. And so I always tell people when they start, turn off your personal page, focus on your business. You're paying us to help you scale. Let's scale. Your personal, right? The same thing like I kind of feel about memes. I don't really necessarily say I'm a fan of memes. Because it's fun and it's easy. So then when we say, okay, you got to make 5 pieces of content a week, you get 5 pieces of
You're
memes
cheating.
a week.
Yeah, cheating. Like,
and they're like, well, those are my best performing. Yeah, but if those are your best performing, are they getting you sales? And I told that to an accountant recently. I was like, your memes are good, and yeah, those are our best performing videos. I go, but have you ever watched a meme from an accountant and said, man, I want that guy to do my tax?
That's crazy, dude.
And he said no.
It reminds me of, remember Matilda back in the day? There was the dad who ran the numbers back on the car, but he was like a snake car salesman. But it's almost like using those cars probably sold. He got them sold, but like, was it authentic? Was it true? Like it wasn't. Like it was cheating in a way to get the sale, which they got the views in that for doing the memes. But then are they going to have the long-term business that they want?
Well, it's not necessarily cheating because I don't think anybody would necessarily buy. Like, if you're gonna take the entertainment route, they're there to just be entertained. They're not there to be sold. And so that's like Jack Black as an actor, right? Have you ever watched a serious movie with Jack Black? I think he did like one, and I just was like, I'm not watching that. I'm not gonna take him serious.
It's hard to see him.
I want to see him as a comedian, not as a lover boy or like a dramatic actor. 100%. Like, so you're labeling yourself now, where like you have to keep pumping those out. But I guess people could say that it works, but for what I've seen, like I don't see it working.
Yeah, it's you are what you repeatedly do, right? So if you're the meme guy, the funny guy, like how do you take serious the funny guy? Like that's the tough line right there.
I don't think I would trust you to buy my home if you were making me laugh all the time.
Yeah, you're just cracking jokes. I'm gonna come to you.
I might be your friend, like it might be cool as fuck.
But
it's not like that's the guy I trust. And that's dope that you said that. Like we were talking about real estate, like Adrian just sold us a property, right? And I chose Adrian because I've looked up to Adrian since I was a kid. So I've trusted him that long.
Big A.
As a barber before I trusted him, to sell me a home. And the same thing with Marisa. Marisa did my loan, right? I've known Marisa for like 15
Which I love Marisa.
Years.
I worked with her. So
yeah, I've known her for like 12 years. I didn't, and it sucks to say because I didn't pick my clients. But it doesn't mean I don't trust them, but I have a 12, 15-year relationship that I've built with them. And trust, not because of what they do on social media, but because I trust them, of what they've done in my life. Like Adrian inspired me to be a barber. I've watched him, grow as a businessman. I've watched him, grow. So the fact that I want to grow, I'm watching somebody else that's growing. Like, oh, cool, like that's the guy I want to sell me my house.
100%. And it's a perfect testament of how your life works with Zahid, right? Like that is the same concept right there. And it's like, all right, this is how it's authentic. Like this is how it's real.
And it was because like Adrian's. Like, I had his number, but I hadn't probably talked to Adrian in a couple of years. And I called him, yo, I'm buying a crib. You want to help me out? Yeah, let's go. And now, like, now we communicate back and forth. But I trusted him even though we weren't even, like, you say, quote-unquote, good friends.
100%. But it's still, like, who else do you want to be a part of their journey? And who else do you want to see win? Like, you're going to contribute to the people that have impacted you in some way or you care about or something like that. And you don't really have, no negative things really to point back to. And that's why I say, like, treat people how you want to be treated. Like, if you leave and you're trying to create all this conflict all the time, like, if I died tomorrow, you're gonna be like, all right, Steph either helped me or hurt me in the time that we spent together. In every interaction, we're pushing forward and growing together. So if anything ever comes off as like, damn, that hurt, it's still to help you though. Like I would never say anything to another man that wasn't going to push them forward or help. That's why I said in the beginning of the podcast, I only speak when my words bring value. If the feedback or whatever it is only going to bring value, then I'm speaking because then it's to help you. If it's to chop you down and make your building small, it's to hurt you. That's not me.
Yeah, I feel like the saying is like hurt people.
100%.
And like
100%.
I think back of like, man, like have I hurt anybody? And I'm like, well, was I hurt? I was like, oh yeah, I was hurt for a very long time. And so like that's where I say like in the past few years is like I had to really heal
Right.
and become a healed human before I could genuinely help people or necessarily like build good relationships with people. And like the friends that we have now are just the circle that we have. Like we're locked in. We're like I take my relationships with people very serious because there isn't very many.
Right.
And so the people that we have in our lives right now, we take it. I fuck with people, and that's always how we like. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you.
Right.
If I don't, I don't. Like there's no in between. And so it's like those kind of things that I've had to learn as just growing as a human.
Right. And it's so important. Like I think that is the statement, and the fact that you look at it to see where the blind spots are, to even want to address it, like that's half the battle.
Well, yeah, that's the first part.
It comes from, dude, it comes from
you have a problem.
The moment you can find it, and then we talked about this earlier, what's the answer? Well, forgiveness. You have to forgive the person that hurt you, so that way you can heal from it and you're not repeating the same shit. Because whether you like it or not, subconsciously, it's going to come up and you start to build resentment towards a person because of the hurt interaction of even when you were 5 years old. You start to build resistance, so you push them away. And then subconsciously, you go after revenge. And then that's why hurt people, because they have already made it to the third level of revenge and they're out there hurting people on accident. Dude, and I've experienced it firsthand. Like I was salty towards my dad for a long time and my parents that they broke so many commitments for reasons in their life that I would make promises to people as an adult. Already like 23 is where I started to like really find out that something was up, that I had to look at it. And I would make commitments, shake hands, knowing I can do my part. And when the time came, I wouldn't do my part. I'd wait for the text to say, hey, like, where you at with this? And I wasn't there. I'd come up with the greatest excuse in the world. But really, I wanted them to feel what it felt like to be left, to be hurt. And it's like, damn, I did it again.
You hurt me, so now I'm gonna hurt you. But you're not doing it with malice. You're doing it with spite.
It's weird.
It's not malice. It's spite.
You would never say that out of your mouth. Like I'm gonna hurt. Like I'm gonna say yes to something and I'm gonna hurt you. Like it's not like that. It's like cool, I got it. And then you might even go in with it like authentic, like I'm gonna do it. And then subconsciously, like you're still salty that happened to you in your life. And so then you go and you do it again, and it's like, bam, you did it one time, and then you're shaking another hand, and then you're hurting another person. It's like, damn, I got all these commitments out there that I make with people, and I'm breaking them, which is only actually hurting me. My name, my reputation, my word with myself. Like Scarface said, man, you only have your fucking word and your balls in this world. You know what I'm saying? And you break your word, like, dude, that is the hardest place you can hurt yourself, because then you look yourself in the mirror, like, can you do something? Like, based off results, because you are what you repeatedly do. Now you're building this other version of yourself that's going to fuck it up. It's going to fail. It's not going to do it. And so, like, are you being your highest version of yourself at that time? Like, probably not anymore, because you're choosing to still live in A, the past, and B, repeat these same patterns over and over that you might not even see.
And that's one thing that I try to do the least of.
Right.
Is, like, live in the past.
Right.
And just, like, because there's people that forgive, and then there's, like, forgive but don't forget.
Right.
And, like, just to truly forgive people, or just truly, like, just don't hold the resentment.
Right.
Is what helped me.
Right.
A lot.
Right.
Because I could easily say, like, oh, well, this person burned me and this person did me dusty. But it's just be like, yo, like, I still genuinely fuck with that person.
Right.
Like, if it wasn't for those people, I wouldn't be this person.
Right.
So that comes from love.
Right.
That doesn't come from hate. So rather than be like, oh, fuck them, they did me dusty, it's like, no, like, that helped mold the person that I am now. Not because of the hurt.
100%.
Rather than fuck them for life, I'm never speaking to them again.
100%, which is like a stubborn way to look at it and stuff like that. Which is, I mean, some of the shit might be like justifiable, but at the same time, are you free?
But yeah, but is it gonna? It's justified. It is justified. You could say
100%,
right?
You will.
But that's like when people have hurt from their childhood,
right.
Things that happened to them were bad.
Right.
You can still forgive them, but it doesn't mean you have to love them in that way. You know what I mean? Because they could have done some fucked up things to you.
Right.
But you still got to let that go. Because if not, then you're gonna hold that shit forever.
100%. You got to go back to being a lighthouse at that moment. Yeah. Like, that has nothing to do with me. I'm not going out there. I'm not messing with that. Like, I'm gonna go back to be the lighthouse and focus on that. Yeah. And like, kudos to you. Like, who said? I don't know. Was it Kevin Gates? He said some shit like, he had a real big saying, but like, I appreciate you, I care for you, but I don't fuck with you no more.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it was something like that. But it's to that concept of being like okay with being not with somebody in your life, even if they're the people you love. Like they say, the people that bring you the most pain are the people with your same the people with your same last name. And I said it like that because it rings a bell.
Yeah, 'cause I see like that, like even relationships with family members and stuff, and how like, oh, I don't fuck with my dad and talk to my dad
Right.
and mom. It's like, yo, like I get that, but if
Right.
your dad died tomorrow, like how would you feel? You probably feel like shit.
Bro, I'll be the testament of what to do. And I crossed a bridge with my dad.
Yeah.
Told him how I felt from like childhood experience and how it impacted me, and it was kind of about that story we just talked about. And he expressed to me where it came from for him. Sat down, cool, level-headed. Like I was scared going into the conversation. Cool, level-headed. Told me where it came from with his parents. 2 weeks later, he died.
Oh man.
Had I not expressed that off my chest in that
I got
moment,
the chills.
the boat would have been missed. That would have
Yeah.
been the moment of like, damn, I never got to tell my dad this. And it's like, nah, I looked him in the face. We sat, talked through it, and we forgave in that moment. It's like, fuck.
man,
I get to go live the rest of my life with a clean-ass chest that I got that off.
And even if people don't want to admit that, like it hurts.
Right.
If it's your dad, if you weren't close, like
Right.
it still hurts because that's your blood.
Right.
I mean, that's your, like that's your seed. It's a seed.
Right.
Like, there is a connection there,
Right.
no matter what. As much as you don't want to admit that,
100%.
like some people wouldn't want to admit that, and that's tough, bro. And like I just chose, like I just don't want to live my life like that. Even like my mom, I could be like, oh, my mom kicked me out of my house when I was 15 years old.
Right.
Fuck her for life.
Right.
Right. I had to live poor. I had to take a bus to school. Like I had to do a lot of shit that most people shouldn't have went through.
Right.
But if I didn't go through that, then I wouldn't have the work ethic that I have. I wouldn't have the drive that I have. I wouldn't learn how to take, like I always tell people, like I've taken care of myself since I was 15.
Right.
So all I know how to do is just take care of myself.
Right.
I know how to fucking make, like, I know how to, I'll figure out a way. If we're struggling with money, I'll figure out a way to get it.
Bro.
If I need a certain amount of cash, I'll, like, when we bought the properties, like, we had to come up with a down payment.
Right.
For, like, that was bigger than I thought.
Right.
And I was like, shit, we're going to make this up.
Yep.
Boom, we started a marketing agency. Like, yo, we're just, you know what I mean?
Started hustling.
Yeah, and we weren't expecting it either to come up on that property because we had just opened up a salon. And it wasn't in our plans
Right.
at all. It just fell in our lap.
Right.
And so what do? Just had to figure it out.
This is what I gotta do.
Make it happen.
You have to. You have to put yourself in that position again. That's why the blessing is the blessing, man. Where if you didn't go through that, you wouldn't know what it felt like again and how to get out of it.
Yeah,
too.
and now to this day, like my mom wasn't me.
Right.
Like I went from taking care of myself to taking care of my mom.
Right.
Like, and that takes a lot because I could easily have been like, because I had that little like that resentment for a while.
100%.
Like, bro, I've lived on my own. Like I take care of myself. What the fuck I take care of you for? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
why should I be taking care of you?
Right.
You didn't take care of me.
Right.
And like, it's just not a way to live. Like that's not the way I want to live my life.
You can live that way, but there's gonna be a price to it, right? And you have to choose. Every decision you make, there's prices and there's benefits, and those benefits serve you. That's why you do it, because you can push your family away, or you can push your people away, or whatever it is. Or the benefit could be you can live free, and I think that's what we're getting at. Is that freedom is all we have access to, and whether it's through time and money, but most importantly, like you could be free, but you could be trapped here in your head, going through the same pattern. So that finding that freedom is the way.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I fucking told you that I wouldn't speak if we didn't have value to bring. I got lost in the sauce. So I'm hoping that whatever you hear resonates in one way, shape, or form. I know that it did for me, catching up with Phil, talking to him here face to face, shooting the shit on just stories and stuff that we've been through.
Everyone was talking about business,
and
marketing and shit. We went from life to marketing to everything.
100%. But at the same time, here we are. Phil, thank you for being here. If somebody wants to just follow your page, see what you're about, how can they do that?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Top by Phil on Instagram. Top by Phil on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's just what I go by, and that's my new handle.
Let's go. All right. Phil, appreciate you being here. I'm going to catch you the next time.